Welcome back to Phlox'em, everybody. Really excited to be here. Again, hope you're all having a great Keyforge week. This is a super exciting time. We're right in the middle of the campaign on GameFound. That is going great. Tons of support already, tons of really cool prizes and add-ons been put on there, and just lots of decks coming. And then alongside that, we're also seeing lots of spoilers, which is super exciting. Again, just so excited for Ghost Galaxy and the future of Keyforge and everything they're doing. I think one thing I missed mentioning on one of my last videos is there's also the Team Covenant interview with Christian Peterson. If you haven't listened to that, definitely worth a listen. Talks about his thoughts on organized play and stuff. Some of it's interesting. It's a little bit tough to hear for those of us who maybe have really liked a lot of the variants and formats, and I think there's still a lot of space for that, and we have to really see specifically what the organized play ends up looking like. But one thing we do know is there's going to be a strong commitment to organized play. It's something he seems to be really passionate about, so really excited about that. The other thing that I am really excited about today is this deck. So during our locals last week, I only opened one deck, and for some reason at locals I just keep opening like super fun decks. Some of them aren't good. If you saw my video with the double Octet, it's a rough video, especially because I like build it up as I'm going to talk about strategy and everything, and then I play terribly, and I lose every game, and the deck just does not do well. It's still a cool deck. I will definitely play it more because I want to figure out how to use it, and I just want to have that experience of having purged my entire deck with it. I might have to force that against like someone who I'm telling to just leave me alone until I do that, but we'll see. Anyways, so this was really funny. When I play sealed, if it's not like official event, like I just opened a deck and want to just play it the first time, a lot of times I'll play it completely blind, so I just shuffle it and don't see any of the actual cards in the deck until I draw my first hand. I did that with this deck, and I saw a couple things like the Q-Mex and Positron Bolt and stuff, and then I played a reverse time. So like I didn't get very far into the deck, didn't see anything that seemed really interesting to me. Reverse time, so I saw all of those again, and then just played out like the rest of the game until I got to like the last 8 cards of the deck. And then in those last 8 cards, I see Dark Amber Vault, which I don't know why it shows up as Star Alliance in here. It's a Logos, and there's 8 mutants in the deck, so that was pretty cool to see. And then the next hand, I see a Pincerator, which is, I don't think I have this one yet. It's a very unique artifact, and it can be very game warping depending on like the matchup and stuff. And then I see an Eaton's Jar, which is a super strong card in Mass Mutation. Very, very control-y, very, very, it's not always consistent. You might see it at the bottom of the deck, as I did in this first game. But my jaw just like kept opening further and further the more I opened this deck, and some other guys were there, and like it was pretty fun. I unfortunately still lost that game because I didn't draw any of those until like the last couple turns of the game. Now that I know they're there, I will definitely mulligan for them, but pretty crazy to see like 3 of maybe the 6 strongest artifacts in the set all in one deck, and I think the deck uses them all pretty well. Like I said, with the Dark Amber Vault, there are 8 mutants, which is, it's a fine number. It's not huge, it's not too small either. It should be good enough. We also have double Q-Mex, so plenty of draw potential in here with that. The Pincerator actually has a lot of targets, so we have 2 Brabbles. So if you haven't seen that interaction with Pincerator, it deals 1 damage to each flank creature at the end of every turn. And so if you play this with the Pincerator down, it will take 1 damage on your turn, and then on your opponent's turn, at the end of their turn, it will also take 1 damage and blow up. And because that's on their turn, it gets the destroyed effect of your opponent losing 3 amber instead of 1 because it's happening on their turn. And essentially, unless they have a way to bounce Brabble, move it from the flank, or something like that, they have no way of getting around this. So it can be a very strong control mechanic. We also have the Rad Penny to go along with Pincerator. The Q-Mex should also synergize with it well. And then we also have the Techno Fiend that just wants to blow up and steal one. I don't know if this deck is actually good. I've only played it the once, and like I said, I didn't draw those. This is going to be some Maiden Voyage stuff. But I think it's going to be a very fun deck, which if you've been seeing my stuff lately, I'm gravitating towards that a lot because that's kind of the decks I'm opening. And sometimes I say I'm going to do a lot more strategic play, and then I just do the fun play anyways. So sorry about that in advance if that's why you're here. Also, sorry if you hear screaming in the background because my downstairs neighbors seem to be having a rock band party or something. Maybe I should go join them. That might be more fun. It's not. It's not more fun than Keyforge, I can tell you that. Let's see what else is in this deck really quick. Reverse Time is a really interesting card. I don't think I have many decks that use it very well, but one of the things in this deck in particular is there's not a ton of creature control outside of the Pincerator. So in my first game, I actually used it to cycle the Diametric Charge and the Positron Bolt, so I could actually get a little bit more of that creature control going, which is probably pretty important. Amber Control is not bad. The Miasma Bomb is really nice. Rad Penny is great. Look over there. Dark Wave is good with 8 mutants. It's not hitting too many of my guys. I can kill the Brabbles with it if I need to get that extra Amber Control during a turn. There's also 5 damage pips with the Anguish. Only one of the damage pips actually ended up in House Dis, and that's on Wail of the Damned, which is not bad. Also have the Stirring Grave to bring back the Brabbles if you're getting that Pincerator cycle going. So, I don't know. I'm really excited. I'm excited to actually mulligan for artifacts that will matter. If you saw my last video with the Octets, I did not mulligan into those cards very well at all, so we'll see how it goes with this one. Also seems like games might be slowing down a little bit here. I mean, there's a lot in here, but only one of them looks like it's a locked game, so hopefully we get some action soon. What else we got? We got the Effervescent Principle, which I love seeing in Mass Mutation logos, especially because there's not a lot of other Amber Control in logos, so it's always nice to have that in your efficiency house. Also have the Double Titan Engineer, which can kind of add that extra Amber Control if you need it. Shoulder Aids, there's not a ton of synergy in here. They're not bad to have though ever because they can kind of keep some of these other things alive. Snudge is at least one nice little way to have some artifact control and bounce if you don't get the artifact control with the Eaton's Jar. I'm not very practiced with Eaton's Jar, so it will be interesting to see what cards I call with that. Most likely because that deck seems really artifact dependent. If they have artifact control, I will probably hit the artifact control. If they have like a bunch of Rad Pennies, or I don't want to say Rad Penny. That's the other thing. I need to watch out for that because I'm not used to playing with it. I have to watch out not to call something that is going to hit me as well. So in this case, Infernus might be a good call. Gateways might not be a bad call. They do not have artifact control, so I think we're gonna mulligan. Another guy saying he's watched the video, which is awesome. J. Philippeg, I've seen his name around plenty. KFPT, I think that's Keyforge Portugal. We're gonna mulligan this hand. Okay, so we got the Dark Amber Vault, which is awesome. Asked if he's okay with recording. So that's something I probably need to kind of ask on the wider channels of what people are kind of, what their perception is of that. Like when I watch other channels, like especially live Twitch channels, they hardly ever say when they're actually recording stuff. I don't know if it's like a really etiquette thing to ask that or not. Let's discard Ludo, and then we'll put that one down. Sorry, I should talk about the gameplay. If you see me on here, like I barely get to play outside of the times that I'm recording, so I'm most likely recording. If that's not something you want, please tell me. I will gladly turn it off. But again, I'm just here having fun, trying to test out some decks. Really glad we killed that Ludo. Let's see. Logos, none of these seem great here. Could just fight the Xenosaurus off. Get some Logos going. Let's get some card draw with Logos. We are going to discard this. I don't think it's worth it here. We're going to play the Umbrabot on the right, deal a damage, draw Shadowsmith, play Wenchling on the right, and not draw anything. So this is probably what is mostly going to happen with Dark Amber Vault, and it's where the balance of like drawing cards isn't always great. Archiving is usually a lot stronger. If you have something like a library card or whatever where you're kind of getting this like cycle of drawing happening, it's probably pretty good, but okay, so it gives me a steal there even though they moved the Amber over. So I need to pay attention to what's happening also, especially if they're going to come back and watch this later. Anyways, J. Philpeg, very well-known player out of, I believe I can never remember if it's Portugal or if he's in Brazil. Sorry if I get it wrong, but definitely a very good player, and they have a very scary lineup going here. We definitely want to kill this, because that's going to get him a lot of value. And we're not doing that with this here. Just going to go back into Logos. Going to reappear first. Do this first to discard. I think the Shadowsmith. Oh, here we go. So we got Positron Bolt. So that does 3, 2, 1. So we're going to fight the Faust. Not discard, and then we'll hit there. Okay. This is where not having much creature control is probably going to be a rough thing for this deck. It is rated at 10, but we'll see. Lose my train of thought a little bit here, and I need to actually try and slow down and do strategy of what this deck is going for. So we have not seen kind of the other two more important artifacts yet, Eaton's Jar and okay, so the Gleeful Mayhem give us a Amber and then play a Techno Fiend. It's not worth going Shadows to stop this key, so we're just gonna go Dis and start getting some board presence going. So we're gonna Techno Fiend for the draw. I still have no way to kill this Brabble because we don't have the Pincerator down yet. What do I want to Stirring Grave? Probably the Umbrabot. So anyways, what we're going to be trying to do right now is just cycle until we get those, because we kind of set up a persistent board state once we get more of those artifacts down. Okay, so they go into Dis, start doing some purging, that's fine. I don't have anything in there that I'm super worried about at the moment. Just some pips, yeah. I don't mind going back into Dis here. We actually get the draw off the Techno Fiend. We do have some stuff we can discard, so we'll go Dis. I'm not going to take our archives. Let's Reap to bounce that. We'll reap here to discard the shoulder id and see. We draw, get another shadows. Let's go ahead and fight the Xenosaurus. I don't think I want that, getting that fight ability off, and now he has a hard time clearing this. So we're at check. Let's see if that holds. They do have another Infernus, and I'm sure they have plenty of capture in Saurian. They have the city-states in Saurian. They're going Logos, though. Do they have an EP? No, so they might be giving us this key, but they're getting a Zenzi down with a daughter. So they're going to have a 9-card hand if they have one more creature. Yeah. Brutal. And Discombobulator is going to stop my shadows from stealing for now, which is also pretty rough. Interesting. I don't have a great answer to that at the moment. Snudge isn't doing much for me. It takes a lot for me to fight it. I think I maybe go this here and just kill it and then force them to kind of go higher before I get Amber. So the EP is doing some work. So I'll have that in Logos. Yeah, because that Discombobulator is hurting me too. I think we do that. Let's go Dis. We're gonna not sacrifice the Snudge. I guess this doesn't die either. We have to deal with that, especially with the daughter down too. They're gonna get so much value, but we can bounce that. So they now have at least some Saurian that's kind of gumming up their hand. They'll probably go Saurian this turn, but Discombobulator's gone too, so we can at least start getting a little bit of steal going. Still haven't seen those other 2 artifacts though, and this is again kind of what happened in a lot of our games tonight, that we're not cycling enough, and so maybe that was the wrong play. I should have been cycling more there. I just don't think I can leave that Zenzi on the board because they've already drawn through their entire deck, which is crazy. Did they? They Lethoed through a few things. So Mindfire to QMX, which hurts. Dominator Bobble. Fights the Snudge. Plays Grim Reminder for 2 Logos creatures. I think that's okay. So we're going to make a little bit of a push with the shadows here. Makes this feel a little bit bad because we will be gaining some amber that we might end up having to destroy, but we'll see. So we're going to go shadows. I'm not going to take archives. I could just kill the daughter with the look over there if I'm planning on the EP coming down next turn. I wonder if that's actually worth it. Let's do it. A Spike Trap, we'll go ahead and just do... Don't want to hit that because they already have cards they want to play in Logos because they're going to try and get that Zenzi back down, so that's fine. EP dings 1 off of us. They're not like bursting super fast either, so the essence scale is also huge. I didn't really talk about that one too much because I didn't have it down in that game at all that I played with it. So I'll just Dinobot to kill the Nexus. And then fights with the QMX. Okay, so we might actually discard the EP at this point because it is not doing what we need it to do. Tropic Swirl to steal 1. Never mind. They just got enough amber that it's worth playing now. Okay, so we are going to take our archives, and this is all stuff I don't mind killing. So we can't kill all of it. So we'll EP first. And then let's... Do I want to spike trap this turn is the question. Because I need to do that before I play these. Yeah, spike trap does a lot for us. The diametric charge. This guy. And then, okay, we don't get another draw, or another Logos draw there. We're tied on Amber, so we'll just put those on the flanks for now. Alright, last 7 cards. Still waiting on both the Pincerator and the Eaton's Jar. Discombobulator's back. They do go to 6. And we're not killing them. Sorry, I'm kind of moving my head a lot. I need to figure out a better position for the mic. Right now it's kind of right in front of my screen. So I should have positioned them differently. Still don't have that damage pip in this. So we're kind of just playing for endgame at this point. Man, it's just rough. Oh no, because I can just play disc creatures and put the key cost up. I don't know what I'm thinking. I'm not thinking well, that's for sure. So if we get Pincerator, we're actually going to want this guy on the outside. And then same with Brabble, and we drew the Eaton's Jar. What do we not want them to play? I think it's actually the Gateways. The Infernus isn't getting a ton of value from us because most of our value is going to be from keeping this board. So I think... Oh no, wrong Gateway. Oh, that would have been bad. Let me just see. Yeah, because they don't have it in... Yeah. I think that's... Yeah, I think that's the right call. You know, we'll see how this game goes. I think that might be the first jar I've ever played. Oh, and we got that. They were probably going to play it that turn, so that's fantastic. Problem is, with last turn, we didn't kill the Zenzi, so I didn't really talk through that. And now they're just going to be able to discard stuff to the autoencoder, but I think we're setting up pretty well here to kind of just start really plowing through Amber with this board. Try and find, of course, the Pincerator is the last card in the deck. Just can't catch a break. Grim Reminder for Logos. Alright, well, so I could have also called the Infernus, but I think this would have been a much more painful turn if he had also wiped this board. So, key cost is 8 right now. I almost think I just let them have that. Logo sets up some good stuff. Can do a lot of... Do I let them have it? Because they probably purged the EP at this point, right? Yeah. So I do need to be kind of blowing up Amber and just trying to gain Amber. So what gains the most Amber here? Shadows isn't bad. I'm not killing this in Shadows though, so I think that makes Logos the call. Let's fight with this one. Get that guy taken care of. We will draw. Unfortunately, we draw through one turn too late. We're gonna reap. I think we can discard this at this point. The Dark Wave isn't doing a ton for us. Again, could have bumped up Anguish there, but I think this board is a problem for him now, so. Making him pay the 8 there should be good. Alright, what are my problems? Diametric Charge, Gleeful Mayhem is still an issue, but again, that's one of each house. My disc creatures are usually fine dying. diametric charge, and hardly any besides the Xenosaurus in Saurian, so okay, so plays the Dinobot, exalts to blow up. I mean, there's not a lot he can blow up because my mutants are all big. Could just kill the Titan Engineer, but at this point, the Titan Engineers are hurting me more than they're hurting him. Should have a pretty good disc turn here because we can essence scale to use the Snudge to bounce like autoencoder, just start really gumming up his hands. I'd love it if we could purge Zenzi, but we'll see. This is cool. I do like this deck being able to just shut down creature control and kind of flood the board. I'm gonna do a lot. I'm gonna have a lot of firsts with this deck, because again, first Eaton's Jar, first Pincerator, which still has not hit the board. I think that's probably just because I'm recording these. Same with the Oxtets. As soon as I start recording, I can't actually. Okay, so he did. What did he hit? Did he hit anything? It must have been, oh, I think he hit this guy. Okay, where am I gaining the most amber here? This is doing a lot for me. I do need to deal with some of his dis, or his Logos here. Logos is also gaining me a lot. We always have this in reserve, which is nice. So let's see, we only have one damage pip in this. We're not drawing. Is it worth getting the Pincerator down here? I'm not doing like anything else with that turn. So we're going to whale. Steal the damage there, and then we're going to blow up the Dinobot. Going to play this guy on the left. Let's reap. We will essence scale to blow. Oh, hey. Combos that I was definitely paying attention to. Bounce. Actually, I wonder if the bobble is more worth it at this point. I want to kill Logos. No, let's just start bursting here. Oh. I said in one of my other videos that I actually struggle with having big boards because, especially with a new deck, it's so easy to get like, there's so many options you could do. And especially when in this situation, you don't want to sit there and like ho and hum over it for 20 minutes of like, well, if I do this and like doing all the math and everything. So one, I just need to get better at doing the math quicker. Spoils battle. Gonna do some capturing, so we're not checking this turn. We just use some of my bigger creature control, which is unfortunate. But I think we're going back into this here because we can do more fun stuff. Chance it onto there. Okay. Let's go dis. Let's draw first. Okay, so that's a better thing to discard. Do I kill this? I think he wants me to fight the Infernus. I actually need to fight this Cantina. Let's do that. I don't have any logos, is kind of the weird thing. Otherwise, this munchling could do more. Drop this on the left. Let's actually just use this guy to fight the Quintina. And this guy can fight the Primus. Can reap to bounce this. Let's go ahead and just use this on the Fiend to get it back into cycle and use the Snudge again. And then we'll reap here. This card, I don't think I've talked about it on here before, but this card is gross. When it gets going, it's pretty brutal. Okay, Mindfire's the Nexus. Really glad he didn't hit the Pincerator there. I think we do play the Pincerator this turn if we get to check. Okay, so kills the Snudge. Makes sense. Gonna kill some other stuff here. That's fine. That guy, ooh, does get to check. Yikes. You need to be careful. But Pincerator is gonna do a lot of work now. Pincerator. We are going to cover up one of these Brabbles, unfortunately. Actually, I don't have to. Let's steal one. So now that'll die to the Pincerator. I do have 2 damage pips, actually. So we are going to do it this way. Let's hit. Hit. And then we will discard and discard. Would be nice to have the autoencoder, but that's okay. Could have been a less messy turn there. Okay, so we bump up to 7 Amber with the Pincerator killing the Infernus. They're going to capture a lot with Saurian, and they've got the Ludo now. I do have at least one thing. I have a couple things that are big enough to kill the Ludo. Need to also kill the Faust, though. This Brabble is going to go off, so they're going to lose some more Amber. Oh, shoot. Oh, I didn't even think about the Rad Penny having the +2 power from the Dark Amber Vault. That's kind of a anti-combo. That sucks. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not great. Defense Initiative to ward and Exalt so that they get the extra taxing. And they also have the City Gates, so we're not out of this yet, but we are dumping some of their Amber. I think we go back into this here because we can kill the Ludo and then do some fun stuff with Logos to start cycling the Q-Mex and get them back into draw. So let's go Dis. We're gonna play the Whale first to pop the ward and then kill the Ludo. I need to kill the Faust, right? Use him to fight. And we'll go ahead and discard the Diametric Charge. Let's see, none of my guys are dying to that, so he's not coming in ready. Is there a way I can... Oh, Essence Scale kills something, so he will come in ready. So we'll Essence Scale, blow up a Q-Mech. Go ahead and just use this one to fight the Faust. Don't have anything... Is it worth discarding? The Q-Mechs. Sure, let's do it. Oh. That's okay. So now this guy comes in ready. Put Brabble on the outside. This is dying to Pincerator. That'll die eventually, so let's just get that Amber total high enough that they just don't have much choice. Alright, Zenzi's back down. Q-Mex. Pincerator with this Anguish is also awesome. It's just automatic taxing. I guess I would have been in check if I had discarded the QMX. So that probably was the right play, or it would have been the right play, unfortunately. We're going back into dis here. There's not much reason not to. Let's draw first. Get this guy down. Go ahead and use this to fight here. We will use this time to discard the Titan. Use this. Fight there. Go to 10. We'll discard the QMX. Oh, and we'll just reap. Jeez. That just turned so fast. That's crazy. So this is going to be a really interesting deck to see if it's actually like more on the competitive side. I would still say it probably isn't, just because even then you saw like how long it took to get this set up. It's very, very artifact and board dependent. So with Eden's Jar, if they have artifact removal, I probably have to hit the artifact removal. Otherwise, it doesn't really matter. Okay, wards. And then it spoils. There's just so much of it. We have a lot of mutants down. Can we go shadows here? Is that worth it? No, let's go. Like, you can't keep doing that, right? There's just no way. And we're still fairly safe on his amber, so let's do this guy first to ping. That one. Let's do this guy on left. Go ahead and fight Tina. Use that to discard him. Then we'll fight the console. And I guess we'll call it there. I don't know if that was the best turn. I probably should have thought through a little bit more of the fighting I was doing, but at the end of his turn, we're getting more value off the Pincerator. I feel like this deck could use a key cheat, but I think that about almost every deck, so. Let's see, so they're back in Dis. Dominator Bauble to steal 1. See what else they can do. Grim Reminders for their 1 Logos creature. Oh, all their Saurian, which includes a Faust. Which is unfortunate. They're going to purge Diametric Charge and Brabble. They have to hit their own now. Just fine with me if they purge spoils, but they'll probably just get the sloppy and something else so that they can keep the spoils. So really my question is, how do I not lose to Faust? What does Dark Wave do for me? Gets me that. Keeps a lot of those alive. I mean, this just seems to do so much for me. I could fight here. Yeah, we're just gonna go back into Dis. No. Play this guy on the left. Didn't draw anything useful. Fight with Munchling. Here. Yeah, because we're not going Logos again anytime soon. Don't have Skirmish, so nothing is surviving this fight, but this guy at least gets me to steal. Blow this guy up to use him to reap again. I probably made some misplays there at the end because he said GG, but Yeah, so they're saying the gateway was a good call, which, I mean, that's why you practice decks like this, because knowing what to call for something like that is probably huge. Because at the beginning of the game, like I said, I had thought it would be the Infernus. And it could be like board state dependent if I have very little on the board. There's a lot of Saurian that I probably could have hit here too. Man, they're going to get there. They're going to get me close on the taxing, but again, I think they haven't been gaining amber at all because I'm able to just keep fighting with these munchlings, which good to know now that the munchlings with the QMEX is pretty handy with this Essence scale, so I got to keep an eye on that. Cool. All right. Well, that's a fun one. Sorry, it was a little bit grindy, I feel like. Kind of had to do a lot to finish that out. But man, there's some cool stuff going on in this deck. So I'm going to move this really quick. Just try and get might be a little bit louder for the rest. Maybe I'll turn the gain down slightly. Okay, so they're back in the game. So we'll go ahead and just do another one. Man, I'm like shaky from that one. That was a much more competitive game. Oh, now of course we're playing Corey Then, who is a fantastic player. Probably bringing some definite heat. So double Exhume, Hysteria, double Infernus. So on this one, they also have the Edize. They have the Axiom. Let's keep that for sure because we already know how devastating that Snudge can be. I forgot to see if they have artifact control. Let's take a look. That's a no. So our artifacts are going to hit hard. Greater Oxtet. Cool, cool. Let's see what they purge. Odoax, they don't have Amber yet, so I'm going to hold off on these guys since this is safe. We're going to have a good turn with them eventually. We'll just kind of start cycling here a little bit. Awesome. Now we have the Bonesaw combo as well. Did they have... This is a tough call. I kind of... The Eden's Jar is going to be interesting. It's probably the Edai. I think that makes the most sense to me. Gleeful Mayhem, that's fine. We do need to kill this at some point. They're going to get a lot of value off that. I guess we probably just bounce it with the Snudge here. And then fight that so it's not killing the rest of my disc dudes. Okay. Just going to go Dis. I'm going to play Techno Fiend. Play Snudge on the right. Thankfully, they kept that on a flank. So we're going to blow you up to use you, to reap, to bounce the Oxtet. Play this ready to fight the Eterum, because this is definitely going to be the most represented house. And call it there. Okay, so we have another answer to the Oxtet if they drop it back down. She most likely... probably start seeing some Saurian here. Those Odoax could definitely be a problem. 3 of them is going to shut down my stealing, which I don't have a ton. But Rad Penny's entire goal is kind of the stealing, so we'll see. We might have to do some tricks with that. Probably worth doing the Shadow's turn here just to get more cycling going. Twin Bolt, it's fine. Yeah. That Stirring Grave will be useful later. Let's go Shadows before they kind of get that engine going. We are going to discard the Dark Wave. It feels a little bad, but yeah, here come the Odoax. Saurus Rex. Okay, so Saurus Rex is definitely going down to the whale. I hadn't thought about this before, but that ping damage on the whale is so good for taking out these wards and then killing the creature. In this case, I wonder if it's worth it to actually bounce it with the Snudge instead. We could do that. Okay, so we're going Dis for sure. I think we're going to whale to blow that up. I think we just Reap, drop him on the left. I think we get this Techno Fiend back. Blow that up to just Reap there. And then let's Reap to we'll just go for more Amber, I guess. He probably plays, or she probably plays a couple Eat Eyes here to tax me, but I'm fine with that over this. Goes into Disc, so probably see some Infernus actually. Or the Evil Eye would actually take all my Amber. Yeah. Or they're just gonna tax me. Keep me from forging. I guess we see that whale gone. Stirring Grave and Dark Wave. Okay, so whale stays. Makes me happy. They're at 7 now. It's unfortunate that we're not forging. Hysterias. Okay, so they're gonna purge more with Infernus. See if they purge the Gargantodon. Probably not. This is really tough. I'm sad they had the Evil Eye. It would have been great to forge there and get to use this EP. Chooses to self-purge. Imperium and Saurus Rex. Okay, so they're going for purging all of their Saurian. This one does not have the damage on it, unfortunately. So I don't think I can take them off check in either house, unless I actually just use the Anguish to fight. Which maybe isn't the worst. It doesn't feel great. Let's go back into Dis. I'll take my archives. Really wish we had that Dav down by now, but we know the Hysteria is gone, so we don't have to worry about that. Yeah, we're going to use this to blow up the Techno Fiend. Is that right? Because Stirring Grave is gone now. Might be better to keep that alive. I'm not worried about having to steal one, because either way, I'm taxing for enough. So we'll blow up the Dark Minion to use this guy and just fight to put their key cost up to 10. That leaves us on 6, which is not great. Odoax stopped that. E-die stops that. Hopefully we can start using this disboard against him more. Okay, twin bolt. Information exchange. Good thing I did not call to steal with this one, because I would have done more. Also, it just gets captured now because of that. Imperium to ward, probably here and here. But just really got to get those artifacts. Got to start finding those. So EP is definitely worth it here. We'll do that first. We'll QMEX. Okay, so we found the Pincerator. That's fantastic. Ooh, and the Positron Bolt. Okay, so can I kill this? Probably not. Can I kill this? Probably not. So what's going to do the most damage? This is dying either way, so I think most damage is strike 2 wards, kill that. Hit there. Yeah, they're purging almost their entire Saurian house. Okay, so back to even at 5. We finally found the Dav. We've got a not bad shadows coming, except this is still here, so might actually want to go back into Dis first. Probably fights the Snudge, yeah. It's worth getting rid of that at this point. Plays a Born Knit. Again, they might be doing... So this is self-purge the way it should be. Not whatever that deck I was playing was in my other video. It's pretty pitiful. Surprised they don't purge the Dendrix, but I have a lot of lower power creatures at the moment. Wait, how did they get the Infernus's back? Oh, Exhumes. Man, I'm not going to have much of a deck left. Okay, so they're at exactly 6. So Pincerator is doing its job here. We still haven't seen any logos. They don't really have an archives either. So here goes Shadows. Play the Pincerator. I think we just discard this for now. Look over there gives us a capture, which is unfortunate, but not too much we can do at this point. We still want to keep him off check. Let's go ahead and hit the Bornet. Probably should have hit one of those so that this was actually triggering the end of their turn instead of end of mine. We have some ways we can kind of cheat that a little bit. So definitely don't want to reverse time here because we haven't seen the Eaton's Jar yet. Might be worth just going back into Shadows. They purge the Dark Wave, and they're going to have a lot of creatures here soon. So that Pincerator is going to have to do a lot of work. Starts warding. Does not action. Let's go ahead and go Dis. Not taking the archives. Gonna reap, discard the reverse time, draw another Shadows. That. Gonna reap, play that. Blow this up. It's not doing a lot for me here at the moment, but we kind of just have to let the pincerator start doing its work. I mean, it's not looking good for us. They have a board that we don't have many answers to. They found the Eaton's jar too. Just happened there. So we did bring him down by 3. What are we still seeing? There are some other good things coming. And 4 in archives. I think we just got to get some of this creature control down. No. This is my first jar deck, so I'm still learning plenty. Spike Trap. Oh, sorry, we gotta do this first. We're gonna discard Tau Tau. Return Imperium. They can have their Wild Wormhole into Imperium. Okay, so they're blowing up some of their own stuff, obviously killing the Infernus so that they can just exhume it. So the question is, how do I generate Amber? Because everything is now in my discard. Probably hits the Brabble here. Yeah, this is like the high caliber of deck, and it's awesome to see. Like, I don't get to see these kind of decks performing very often. Obviously, Corey Thin is talking about it like it's a deck I should know. I probably should. So that's fun. That's definitely cool. But we're going to lose. It's the short of it. Vandalize and Anguish and Brabble and a Principal. Okay, so we can't stop the key. And we can finally get the Dav down. It feels a little bit late because I have not much left to do. Let's see, exhumes. I mean, it's not even worth killing the Infernus at this point, except that we want to start other things dying too, so. Let's call Logos, we'll say yes. Finally get this down. This is also really hurting the Pincerator from doing much damage. I guess cycling this probably isn't the worst. Let's go ahead and do it. I'll play this guy, play this on the left for a draw, and then we're going to put both of these on the right so that it stays. Okay, and that's all we got. So Shadow's next turn gets me my Asthma Bomb, but I mean, if I can't kill this E-Die, Wild Wormholes into an Infernus. Come on. Let's see. Wards. Okay, so Shadows. It's not getting me super far. Logos. I still can't kill the E-Die. So let's do the Shadows for now, at least slow down some of their killing of my creatures, I guess. I'll just reward the E-Die. Play this on the left. Yeah, but they're basically just in like a logo cycle here. They can kind of just keep cycling those same cards every turn. Half my deck purged. Not many decks are going to do well with that. We do have one more Brabble coming, so there is like technically hope. First I need to forge a key. Now the E-Dies are down. Okay, what can I actually do? There's a chance I draw into it with the Dav. I can't believe this thing has hung around for so long. No on the archives. So let's see. I'm gonna kill one of the E-Dies. Doesn't really matter. Fight. Play this guy on the right. Oh, we drew the Dav. All right, so we're in a little bit of business. Actually, no, we're not, because we're not going to stop the key anyways. Yeah. Really doesn't matter. Fight the E-Die. Play this guy on the right. Play this guy on the left. And reap. So cumulatively we had 24 cards purged, and man, that's a crazy deck. Trying to think what we could have done differently in that game, because I think, well, one, drawing better, which they pointed out as well. If the Eaton's Jar comes down, I think after playing this deck now, I probably have to be more worried about Infernus than I was in the first game. But first game, Gateways were definitely the call. I think that was totally the right thing to do. Losing the creature control in this deck is pretty rough, so I have to be careful of that, and that's where the pips are. So Infernuses are normally going to hit that, and then losing EP is also rough. So I think, oh man, it's tough. And unfortunately, we're going to see a lot of Infernus if we're playing this at kind of higher levels, so probably just takes more practice. Not sure I have a ton more time. To play one more. I'm really liking this one. It's really cool. Doing some really cool stuff. There's not many games going though. I think we'll call it there, but maybe I'll record another one for this. If you guys have like played with a deck that plays like this before, I'd love to hear like thoughts on strategy and everything, because I think it is it's again a deck that I'm pretty unfamiliar with. I haven't until I started opening these last things from the fire sale. I've not played much good mass mutation. I played against plenty of it, but I haven't played much of it. So like something like this, it probably is just practice, right? Like just getting a lot of reps in with it and stuff, seeing different matchups and everything. Dang, Eaton's Jar just betrayed me. But some good games, definitely, especially for a 71 SAS. This is definitely going to see some SAS caps stuff until Corey then, who we just played, does another SAS update, because there was, I don't know if that was to Patreons or not, there was an update that she's going to do one more SAS update before the new set comes out. So that'll be really interesting to see, especially for Dark Tidings, what changes there. But I don't know. I'm still really excited about this deck. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Just have to kind of practice those matchups and just draw Eaton's Jar earlier. Seems to be the real strategy I need. Cool. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm going to come up with a tagline at some point. I want to say gotta Phlox'em all, but I feel like it's already been taken. Zach and Hyper do it better, so it's not even worth me saying it. But again, if you guys have any thoughts on like how I can do the strategy, how I can do video better, anything you want to see on this content, I'm super open. I'm just loving playing the game, loving getting these videos out there, exploring some of these really fun decks, and trying to just get better at the game. So hope you all enjoyed, and we'll talk to you next time.